And in another session of UBC's News, this is News Tonight. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. Dorothy Namiyomba is with us on sign language. First, though, the top stories.
The news headlines are brought to you by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Keep your information up to date with your regulated financial institution. Customer deposits are protected up to 10 million Ugandan shillings. Terms and conditions apply.
Lines tonight, Museveni warns leaders over reluctance on wealth creation efforts. Why the Bundibujo Ebola strain is alarming scientists. Judiciary trains justices of Court of Appeal on election petitions. And lastly, State House intervenes in a Kitende land dispute.
Were brought to you by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Keep your information up to date with your regulated financial institution. Customer deposits are protected up to 10 million Ugandan shillings. Terms and conditions apply.
And as we start off with the Heroes' Day celebrations, and of course at a time like this, these are preparation moments. This year's 9th June Heroes' Day celebrations will be held virtually at State House in Entebbe. The Minister for Presidency, Millie Babalanda, while addressing media in Kampala, said that the President will be joined by only 25 invited guests to mark the occasion, unlike previous celebrations held at Kololo Independence Grounds. This year's event will be conducted virtually to curb the spread of Ebola virus disease. Let's hear more.
General retired Muzeyo Erikaguta Museveni will officiate at the function and will be joined by less than 25 guests chosen from the three arms of government, religious leaders and representatives from the Luweero Triangle Veteran Association. The rest of the country will receive the President's message via the national broadcaster, the UBC and other broadcasters that have national audiences. Prayers. Thanksgiving prayers shall be held throughout the country to commemorate the auspicious day. I call upon all countrymen to attend these prayers in your respective places of worship on the designated dates as follows. Friday, 6th of June 2026, prayers in all mosques. Saturday, 6th June 2026, prayers in all Seventh-day Adventist churches. And Sunday, 7th June 2026, prayers in all other churches. State visitors. At the moment, we have not yet received any indications of state visitors to grace the occasion.
As we step a little bit into the health sector now, as the health authorities race to contain the ongoing Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo DRC and Uganda, scientists are paying close attention to an uncommon culprit, the Bundibujo strain of Ebola virus. We take a close look on what you need to know about Bundibujo strain of Ebola. More in this report.
The Bundibujo strain mainly combines two unusual features. It's much rarer than Ebola strains people usually hear about. Most major Ebola outbreaks have been caused by the Zaire strain, which caused the large West African epidemic and several DRC outbreaks. Bundibujo has only been identified in a handful of outbreaks. First discovered in 2007 in Bundibujo district, Uganda. Another outbreak occurred in DRC in 2012. The current 2026 outbreak is only the third recognized Bundibujo outbreak. There is no approved vaccine specifically for it. This is the biggest concern among public health experts. The licensed Ebola vaccines and antibody treatments were developed primarily for the Zaire Ebola virus. They are not approved for Bundibujo, so outbreak control relies heavily on early detection, isolation, contact tracing, protective equipment for healthcare workers, and supportive hospital care. Several experimental vaccines are now being rushed into development because of the current outbreak. It appears less deadly than the classic Zaire strain. Historically, Bundibujo outbreaks have had fatality rates around 25 to 50%, whereas some Zaire Ebola outbreaks have exceeded 70 to 80% and occasionally approached 90% in specific settings. That does not mean it is mild. A disease that kills roughly 1/3 to 1/2 of confirmed patients is still dangerous. It may be harder to detect initially. One issue reported during the current outbreak is that some commonly deployed Ebola diagnostic systems were optimized for the Zaire strain. This may have been contributed to delays in recognizing the outbreak. The symptoms are basically the same as other Ebola viruses. A patient with Bundibujo Ebola generally looks very similar to a patient with Sudan or Zaire Ebola. Fever, severe weakness, headache, muscle pain, vomiting, and diarrhea. Doctors cannot reliably distinguish the strain based on symptoms alone. Laboratory testing is required. The reason why scientists are paying close attention now. The current outbreak is unusual because it is the largest Bundibujo outbreak ever recorded. It has spread across multiple provinces in eastern DRC. Cases have crossed into Uganda. There is no licensed vaccine available yet. One small positive point is that Bundibujo has historically had a lower fatality rate than the Zaire strain. However, cases are being managed medically in relation to previous strains and several recoveries have been registered. Currently, DRC has registered 6 recoveries and 2 recoveries in Uganda, making the total to 8 recoveries. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization reported on Wednesday that the world is catching up with the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where there have been 344 confirmed cases of the disease and 60 confirmed deaths.
Well, thank you very much for the detailed report. Now, as in one of our top stories, as Uganda ushers in the 12th Parliament, President Yoweri Museveni has painted a picture of a country on the verge of a major economic transformation. Delivering his address at the official opening of Parliament, the President pointed to the anticipated commencement of oil production, ongoing infrastructure investment, and the prevailing peace and stability as key pillars to propel Uganda into middle-income status.
When Uganda's oil starts flowing in the soonest future, the country's dream of attaining a middle-income status will be realized. This is the message that the President carried for the country as he officially opened the first session of the 12th Parliament.
This year, the economy is projected to grow at 6.4%, and the next year the GDP will grow by 10%, pushing the size of the economy to $80 billion. All this is before the start of the flow of our commercial oil. In the last 15 years alone, the country has added 31 new products to the export basket.
This will be a consolidation of what the country has achieved over the last years, including infrastructure development.
The NRM has struggled to tarmac the core national roads from north at Oraba, Aru, Nimre, and Musingo in the north. These are all linked by tarmac roads. Then the tarmac roads continuous from the north through the Kampala area to Kachitumba, Katuna, Chanika, and Bunagana in the south. The mistake has been by the Ministry of Works to allow these roads to deteriorate, and then we start to doing heavy work afterwards. The new ministers must ensure. I don't want to see what happened to some of the roads like the Fort Portal Road. But there is a story about that Fort Portal Road. There is a story of corruption in that road. I hope the new team will deal with that issue.
This has been achieved with the presence of peace, rule of law, law and order, something which makes Uganda's economic future brighter.
We are revamping the meter gauge railway and building the standard gauge one. We are working with Kenya and Tanzania on the pipelines for the crude petroleum products and for the refined petroleum products. This will move cargo, heavy cargo, away from the roads to the railway, and petroleum products from the roads to the pipeline. In the coming years, we will no longer see tankers on the road, petrol tankers. They should not be on the road.
This will, however, take commitment from other leaders, who the president insists must come on board in Uganda's wealth creation agenda.
Therefore, when I hear leaders talking of allowances to reach their people and get them out of poverty, I almost get nausea. I feel like vomiting. If you don't know, when I look at you, the way you do things, I really feel very not pleased, but out of politeness, I've been keeping quiet. But now I'm telling you.
Members of parliament, newly appointed ministers, and other leaders were all present. They listened, took notes, and reacted in affirmative.
The president's message has been consistent. All the time they comes and shows us videos of people who have done something. I think all of us should wake up as Ugandans, because myself sometimes I really, think and say, since Mzee started speaking this message and showing these videos, what have I done as a person? If every Ugandan asks himself or herself such a question, I think Uganda can move to another level.
Fortunately enough, our people have come to embrace coffee production. Right now, very many of our farmers have joined, and they are doing so well. We are seeing coffee doing so well in northern Uganda, and as a leader, I would like to carry on and encourage our people to continue more so with the 4-acre model.
Our cocoa down there, if given attention, and if the land is properly utilized with more fertilizers, with more everything, like you said, in agriculture is going to add more money, we shall yield.
We are going to work hand in hand with the issuing authority, which is the Uganda Investment Authority, to make sure that process is fast-tracked, so that investors are not frustrated and they can acquire these simple licenses that allow them have their business here smoothly.
They expressed confidence in Uganda's economic projection agenda.
If we really fight corruption, the monies that government is collecting in terms of revenues can grow our country, and we get better roads, and we get better service deliveries in hospitals and also electricity. But above all, we need to work hard.
The revenues that come from our people, the law is very clear. There is a percentage that's supposed to get back to the villages, to the parishes, to clean to refurbish and rehabilitate the roads, a bit of the water wells and the boreholes. This money has to start getting back to the people.
Even when you're in the agriculture sector, you need a good road to take your products to the market. When the road is poor, the fares are higher. When the road is good, the costs go down. So either way,
we need to maintain our roads. That has been our biggest challenge as a country.
If we don't work, we don't implement government programs, we don't supervise, we don't inform our mwananchi or our fellow people in where we stay, we are not going to reach that. So this Kisanja, please, there is no more sleeping.
From tourism to commercial agriculture, industrialization to infrastructure development, leaders see a Uganda on the way to economic prosperity. Henry Okrut, UBC.
And into the reaction of the speech, the presidential address, the Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Maction Oboth, has implored the members of Parliament not to disappoint the President's call for wealth creation. Oboth wants MPs to avoid being described as just listeners of the President's message, but also rather actors. President Yoweri Museveni, in his State of the Nation address, re-emphasized the term Chisanja, no sleep, showcasing a number of practical examples of wealth creation through calculated agriculture to the MPs.
Following the State of the Nation Address 2026 in Kololo ceremonial grounds, President Yoweri Museveni is apparently against selfish leaders who do not care about the prosperity of their people. The President made the State of the Nation Address practical by showcasing a wide range of examples of the beneficiaries of the repetitive calls on wealth creation.
So therefore, I want the Exos model. I don't want to live in a parish where there are poor people. That's what I told them. I want to go to heaven. I don't want the angels to block me and say, you are an Exosi, you are neighboring the poor people, you kept quiet. So I must tell you, I told them.
The Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Maxon Oboth, described the President as a generational leader whose efforts to wake Ugandans up from the poverty sleep is worth noting. Oboth implored the members of Parliament not to stop at listening to the President, but rather act accordingly.
Let's stand to be counted, to be the members of Parliament who will sleep no more, to be the members of Parliament who will be remembered for waking up ourselves and waking up our people towards the money economy.
The MPs appreciated the President for prioritizing wealth creation through agriculture, especially increasing on the funds channeled to the households through the parish development model.
And really, in addition to that, I would also like to thank His Excellency, the President, that this way round he has emphasized on these people who are just misusing government money, most especially in local government. We have been found that 1 billion has been given to the Ministry of Works up to the local government. But these people who are concerned with the local government, they have just been using this money. So, Muzei,
I already took all our councillors to Mbara to see those 4-acre models with their own eyes and listen with their own ears. When they came back, they are no longer the same. The first thing is mindset change. Having changed their mindset, they are now busy working.
When we become players, we shall drive this economy. And to me, another thing that has not pleased me is the absence of the opposition. Honestly, we come here to serve the country, not to serve our parties. And I think we derive policies from what such things, such events.
The President cautioned leaders who misuse government resources, including funds meant for roads, hence affecting the agricultural value chain.
And he talked about an increase and diversion of money from certain dormant sectors into district roads. And now the people of Lambul, I'm coming to become your chairman of the district of the roads committee, so that if we increase the budget, let us have first priority. Roads is a must, because whether you are going to the hospital, you'll need the road. Whether you are doing trade, it's a road. Whether you are going to school, it's a road.
The civil servants in Uganda form a big force to drive this economy. We talk about the last person in the civil service is the parish chief, I think, where he has emphasized that they should provide the bicycles, but we need to know when are they providing them. Last term, he had promised to have a parish chief have a house in the parish, such that he does not become absent.
The issue of widening the market base has also been emphasized.
And the only way to do the market is through going to the neighbors and opening up to all our neighbors. And then we say, hey, please, I'm here, I'm a good neighbor, I have this, what do you have? You may find that we are seated on potential, a very big potential of markets. Actually, we are surrounded with that big potential of markets. And once we speak to them and we pacify everything, so our market is just enormous.
The famous theme of the full monetization of Uganda's economy accommodates an allocation of 2.493 trillion for the various wealth creation programs, including parish development model of 1.084 trillion. Apparently, Uganda has 10.6 million households holding about 4 people.
So today we had more very practical teaching aids, not cosmetic ones.
Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
And in Arua City, the Ebola Task Force of Arua City has intensified observation of standard operating procedures to prevent the spread and contraction of Ebola virus in schools. According to Arua City resident City Commissioner Betty Akelo Otekat, schools are crucial areas that can easily lead to a rapid spread of Ebola once a positive contact mixes with the learners or the teachers.
This is Arua Primary School with a population of 2,124 pupils, where serious precautionary measures against Ebola disease are done to everyone visiting the school, including the staff. Their temperatures are first checked and later allowed to wash hands before being permitted into the school premises by the watchman at the gate. According to the head teacher of Arua Primary School, Talib Ondoga, a thorough sensitization about Ebola virus has been done to both teachers and pupils, a reason many learners can now wash their hands regularly.
We have provided all the necessary items as required, especially the hand wash facilities at very many points for the children to embrace hand wash. And then secondly, we have also acquired the temperature guns. And then we also provided the the sanitizers. And then we are also trying to sensitize the children about the spread and the prevention measures about the Ebola through the classrooms and then during the assemblies and so on.
According to Arua City Chairperson of Ebola Task Force, Betty Otekat Akelo, a strict message has been disseminated to all schools on prevention of Ebola.
The head teachers that anybody who will be found not adhering to these SOPs that have been issued by the Minister of Health will be answerable, because number one, it can spread to other learners. It can also can spread even to the teachers, to the staffs of that school, even to the parents. Once one person is infected in the community or in a particular institution, it can turn out to be a very difficult issue, condition to manage.
The RCC also disclosed that the security is on the lookout to anyone crossing between Arua City and DRC through the porous border routes, as she calls for vigilance among the populace.
The National Task Force resolved to suspend most of the activities along the borderline, like these weekly markets. At least I'm happy that our people have listened to. Only that the biggest challenge that we are hearing is our people they are leaving now the Machako market and they have opted to cross to Congo side to operate their markets. That is very wrong. Our security teams are on the ground. Our surveillance teams are doing their work. And once you're found, number one, you'll be isolated with immediate effect. Number two, we shall ensure that all those ones who enter in our country illegally without passing through the gazetted routes will be repatriated back.
Joseph Odama, UBC News.
Now, the Ministry of Health has appealed to managers of public places like markets to ensure that there are hand-washing facilities as one of the measures to enforce standard operating procedures. The Director of Public Health in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Daniel Chabayinze, emphasized that hygiene is one of the ways to control infectious diseases such as Ebola.
Infectious diseases such as Ebola are easily spread in congested places such as markets. The Ministry of Health has now appealed to managers of public places like markets to ensure that there are hand-washing facilities as one of the measures to enforce standard operating procedures.
We went through a COVID outbreak where people learned to do hand sanitization, personal hygiene, infection control and prevention. Now we need just to reactivate what they did. By the way, by putting a sanitizer and enforcing people to wash hands as they walk the market, it's in their mind they know there is a problem. So that's awareness. You are increasing risk perception.
UBC visited St. Valley Kudembe Market, commonly known as Owino, to witness the state of affairs.
So here in our market, we have tried to sensitize all the vendors through our market radios. And we are trying to use our market teams to go on to check that people, they don't crowd together. Our trade order, such that in a way are well, people not get squeezed. And we are putting some water tanks from the entrance, some big entrances, and also checking on those and telling them what are the symptoms.
Although market administrators say they have played a key role in creating awareness about Ebola, some of the key entry points have no washing facilities yet. To follow the standard operating procedures in order to curb the spread of the Ebola virus disease. Adia Nakote, UBC.
And it's just the time to take a short break. We will return with our next segment. Stay with us.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mumutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungu ya kusabula. Mikono tu, free on fire, free on fire, free on fire.
Makerere Institute for Social Development, a certified institution for higher learning, invites applicants for certificates and diploma courses like accounting and finance, procurement, journalism, tailoring and fashion design, with many other skills-tailored courses.
Our institution is compliant. First of all, it is recognized by National Council for Higher Education. We are certified. The registration number is UBB 187.
Tested and tried since 1995, Makerere Institute for Social Development is your solution when it comes to quality education.
You may apply for January, May, August intakes. Find us along Sir Apollo Kagwa Road, opposite Makerere University Sports Ground. Our tuition is affordable with a state-of-art facilities. Early birds stand a chance to grab themselves bursaries. MISD or Makere Institute for Social Development, facilitating your career.
It's our mission to secure your money.
Protecting your money is as important as earning it. It is for this reason that the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, DPF, was established by the government of Uganda to provide deposit protection to customers of regulated financial institutions. In the unlikely event that your commercial bank, credit institution or microfinance deposit-taking institution fails, the DPF will pay you up to 10 million Uganda shillings. Keep your personal information such as national identification number, mobile phone or an alternative bank account updated with your banker. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, contact DPF at Aha Towers, Plot 7 Lodell Road, Kampala. Call 0312-206-400 or visit our website at www.dpf.or.ug.
We are the DPF. We protect your money. Protection Fund of Uganda.
Welcome back from that short break, and in our next segment, the judiciary through the Judicial Training Institute has organized a specialized training for justices of the Court of Appeal to strengthen their capacity in handling election petition appeals. The training is aimed at enhancing the effective, timely and technological driven administration of electoral justice ahead of the hearing of election-related disputes.
Privilege to declare this training officially open for God and my country.
The initiative comes as the Court of Appeal prepares to handle a significant number of election petition appeals arising from the 2026 general elections. According to the judiciary, a total of 118 election petition appeals are expected from the 2026 general elections, including 107 parliamentary election petitions and 11 local government election petitions.
I have to warn you in advance that you are going to have very many appeals. What happened is that when, because I mean, I already know what has been filed in the High Court, and I can tell you that because the law has that cushion that when you appeal, you remain in the Parliament, even those who have obviously lost will come here. Even those who feel that they have lost genuinely will also come. So you need to prepare for that.
Speaking during the training, the Chief Justice commended the judiciary team for organizing the initiative, noting that it is crucial in preparing the court for the increasing demands associated with election-related litigation.
By the time matters reach the Court of Appeal, the facts have been vigorously contested and the law thoroughly argued. However, the demands of appellate jurisdiction continue to grow. I commend you, my lords, for making time amidst your heavy.
He urged the justices to remain mindful of strict timelines governing election petitions and the growing workload expected after the elections.
It is therefore an essential exercise in institutional learning. I urge you to use these findings to sharpen our collective performance. We are the guardians of democratic legitimacy, and our commitment to these pillars will define the integrity of the 2026 electoral cycle and beyond.
Professor Andrew Kauka, the Executive Director, Judicial Training Institute, also had this to say.
Look, can we train together? Can we speak together? Can we be able to be on the same page in the handling of these petitions?
Aisha Musanya and Viola Nansobuga compiled this report for UBC News.
Now, as we look at Mukalazi's appointment, a section of NRM supporters and grassroots mobilizers from across the country have rallied behind the newly appointed Minister of Finance, Privatization and Investment, Hajat Amina Mukalazi, applauding her track record in public service and expressing confidence in her ability to deliver in her new role.
Hajat Amina Mukalazi. Mama here today to extend our appreciation to our dear President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for appointing Hajat Amina Mukalazi as State Minister for Finance under privatization and investment. Dear President, we appreciate so much for that keen eye and being a very visionary leader to single out Hajat among the many, and you give her a ministry under her area of expertise.
Shanja is no more corruption, Shanja no more sleep. So we thank our dear President for selecting our dear Hajat Amina Mukalazi, head of State House of Government, and give her a good position of a minister in industry and privatization. Dear Mwami, we thank you. We have seen Hajat Amina Mukalazi in expertise in that field.
Now, in another story ahead, the office of a president has intervened in a land dispute involving Abdul Karim Munkanji and Solomon Twesije in Kitende, Kajansi Town Council, Wakiso District. Nathan Boje, a senior lawyer attached to the State House Land Division, issued a directive to the conflicting parties aimed at ensuring safety and paving way for a conclusive solution to the matter. And of course, that story will be coming your way in just a short while or in our next bulletin. Now, students of Kawempe Muslim Secondary School have been urged to embrace patriotism, discipline and hard work as essential values for building a successful future. The message was delivered by Major General Henry Masiko and the Deputy RCC for Kawempe Division, Luka Kajenyi, during an orientation session ahead of the Patriotism Pass-Out ceremony scheduled for Saturday, June 6th.
More than 1,500 students at Kawempe Muslim Secondary School gathered for an orientation session organized under the National Patriotism Program as preparations intensify for the upcoming Patriotism Pass-Out ceremony. Addressing the learners, Major General Henry Masiko emphasized the importance of patriotism programs in shaping responsible and productive citizens.
The essence is to equip them with the skills that can enable them defend their territorial integrity or the territorial integrity of their country at any given time in the future.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Resident City Commissioner for Kawempe Division, Luka Kajenyi, challenged the learners to cultivate a strong passion for acquiring knowledge.
Essence is to make sure that the future leaders of tomorrow, who happens to be the students, are trained with patriotism skills, patriotism lessons, and patriotism kind of arrangement, so that they don't engage themselves in acts that are prejudicial.
Students welcomed the initiative, expressing their readiness to embrace resilience, discipline and a deeper love for their country.
I appreciate the government, especially His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for thinking about the youth and letting him and sending these people to come to us and talk about the things that are happening to Uganda and guiding us into loving our country, Uganda. So as the patriot, more love for the country.
Really good session for us, the young youths. It helps us more to be more patriotic to our country, having love for your country, because through having love for your country, surely a person can develop this nation and this country when a person has love for his or her country.
Confidence, to have self-discipline, to love myself, never to give up in life and always love my country. By now I am a patriot.
Very nice initiative. I've been able to learn more and I'm becoming a better leader. Thank you so much, State House, for this program.
The orientation ceremony forms part of the National Patriotism Secretariat's ongoing efforts to instill the values of patriotism, discipline hard work, and national consciousness among Uganda's youth. The patriotism pass-out ceremony is expected to take place on Saturday, bringing together students, school administrators, government officials, and parents to celebrate the learners' commitment to national values. Irene Faith Nantongo, Joseph Moyengo, UBC News.
Now, former Miss Uganda UK 2023-2025 Faith Rushoke has launched a skills empowerment initiative in her hometown of Fort Portal through her community program Faithful Impact. Let's hear more from this report.
Faith Rusoke donated 8 brand new Singer sewing machines and tailoring equipment to Buhemba Senior Secondary School with the aim of equipping students with practical vocational skills that can support them beyond the classroom. Speaking during the handover ceremony, Rusoke said the name Faithful Impact reflects her desire to leave a lasting and meaningful contribution in the lives of young people. She emphasized that tailoring is a valuable skill that students can rely on throughout their lives, regardless of their future circumstances.
But I wanted whatever I'm doing to actually have a lasting impact. I didn't want to just come somewhere, say hello and leave. I wanted it to be something that the school can continue, the students can continue and learn for many years to come. So that's the reason behind the name, Faithful Impact. And hopefully the machines that I've donated here today, they'll have a lasting impact because you'll learn, and even when you finish school, that skill will never leave you. And that's what I would love for you students to be able to do. I'd hope that when you finish, you can get a job, but we don't know what life brings for us. Sometimes you're not able to get a job, sometimes you don't even finish school. So now how can we equip you during this time that you're here so that when you finish, you have skills that you can use forever? So that's why the tailoring is there. So hopefully as many of you as possible can learn this skill. So even in the future, you can continue to sew. Because one thing that no one can take away from you is your skills. Your education and your skills, no one can take that away from you.
The 3-day project began with meetings between Rusoke, students and teachers, followed by the renovation and painting of the tailoring room. On the second day, work continued on the facility, while football and netball kits were also donated to support sports development at the school.
I take the honor to extend our sincere gratitude for the generous donation of the sewing machines and sports equipment. When you look at the details, we have received 8 manual machines of Singer brand, 1 set of football uniform for boys, that is 16 pairs. And when I talk of pairs, this includes the jersey, the shorts, and socks.
The project culminated on the 3rd day with the official unveiling of the fully equipped tailoring workshop. Students participated in assembling the sewing machines, gaining hands-on experience in the process.
I thank Miss Faith and their soccer family for being with such a lovely heart, the way that they've introduced to us the project, more especially about vocational skilling, where they've introduced new sewing machines.
The event was attended by the Mwenge Central Member of Parliament Kasukali Methusela, who commended the initiative and elaborated the impact it will have on the students and the wider community.
Tugonza kusima n'okubondara n'okusemererwa kwingi obwekitinisa Faith Rusoke owabaire ali Miss Uganda UK ebyalani 8 kandi aturenovatingire nekikaro na mbere section yenu abana barkwija kuba nibegera.
Vocational skills.
Today we are in Makerere College School and we've got our winner, and that is none other than Michelle. I am sure you've already gotten the school fees and the excitement is already there. Thank you so much.
Michelle has won school fees for a year. Never Zaba Momo. 3 times paid, cleared.
You can also stand a chance to win You simply have to dial *165 *80# or use the Momo app. Schools that accept students to pay school fees using Momo also stand a chance to win a van. Pay your school fees. You never know, you could be the lucky winner.
Alright, listen up. Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
They share an office. Some work in the day, some at night. What they have in common: focus, dedication. That's what makes them champions. They also share something else: the reward of being one. The official beer of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Not for persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
Now it's time for us to get into the world of business. Now the transformation of Uganda's tourism and hospitality sector is becoming increasingly visible. The Uganda Wildlife Education Center has emerged as one of the country's leading tourism and conservation education destinations. Let's hear more in this report.
The $200 million World Bank Competitiveness and Enterprise Development Project was approved on May 9, 2013, became effective on June 6, 2014, and officially closed in November 2024. Among its key objectives was supporting initiatives aimed at increasing private sector investment in Uganda's tourism sector. At the Uganda Wildlife Education Center, the project's impact is evident and expected to deliver long-term benefits.
With the roads paved, been a great experience, and we've seen more people coming with their children and strollers. I think it has been a great addition for us. Where we got vehicles, we got golf carts that have also earned extra money. We charge 50,000 per hour. For people who want to have that go around with golf carts, we got 3 golf carts.
By investing in tourism and wildlife infrastructure, the project has strengthened UWEC's position as a premier tourism attraction and conservation education facility. The project financed the modernization and expansion of animal enclosures, equipped the animal hospital and biobank, and enhanced visitor facilities, significantly improving the overall guest experience.
It's been a rising trend of visitation. But after the World Bank project, our visitor numbers grew to 620,000 plus number of visitors.
Meanwhile, the Uganda Hotel and Tourism Training Institute in Jinja City has undergone a complete transformation in recent years thanks to the support provided through the World Bank project.
The Hotel and Tourism Training College has undergone a 360-degree transformation. From infrastructure to human resources, ICT systems and partnerships.
The $12.5 million investment has not only improved the image of the institution, but also facilitated the construction of a modern training hotel, which is expected to be commissioned soon.
The funding is helping to create opportunities that we can skill our students, all the students who come through this school, the training institution, and then they come on the practical side.
With these new facilities, the quality of training has significantly improved, student enrollment has grown, and learners are now benefiting from a world-class hospitality education environment.
I believe I'm all round. Wherever you put me, I can work. Housekeeping, front office, reception, F&B, the service, and the kitchen.
I've gained a lot of skills. So far, I'm not very far, but I know how to prepare different dishes. We have gained languages French, we study German, and at least I can talk to a person in French, bonjour.
The transformation of these two institutions is positioning them as centers of excellence in tourism, conservation, and hospitality training, strengthening Uganda's capacity to compete in the regional and global tourism market. The World Bank has invested over $17 million in two Ugandan institutions, and together they tell a powerful story. I'm Maureen Babidia for UBC.
Uganda Free Zones and Export Promotions Authority of ZEPA has met with exporters and free zone operators in a bid to close compliance gaps, barring Ugandan exports from accessing foreign markets. Compliance challenges like high costs and stringent non-tariff measures severely limit Ugandan exports, with up to 30% of exporters closing in their first year due to these barriers.
Ugandan exporters have raised concerns over excessive bureaucracy in the export facilitation process.
A lot of paperwork that is involved in export. You need to visit so many offices for you to reach the export.
To address this, Uganda Free Zones and Exports Promotions Authority has organized a workshop to equip all sector players with harmonized information on processes, requirements and opportunities, ultimately boosting the compliance of locally manufactured goods.
So this training today has been organized to provide practical knowledge on the pre-export verification of conformity, the sanitary and phytosanitary requirements, halal certifications and other voluntary standards, the necessary documentation and compliance requirements for international markets.
Uganda's export capacity remains latent largely due to the failure to comply with foreign market standards. This is attributed to weak value chain coordination from producers to the exporters, who usually operate with individual standards.
Our fattening centers have not taken into consideration traceability, and one of the major ways we can achieve this is through identification of animals. I don't know whether you realize that in Uganda our animals are not identified. If I meet you a Ugandan, I can ask you your name, and therefore I can easily trace you. But for all our animals, we don't have that traceability. Yet it is very, very, very important and very critical for the halal sector.
This affects marketability, especially for agricultural produce, and often strains resources to sustain production.
People are limited financially. I can give you an example. Government has tried in northern Uganda things like NUSAF, PMA, Plan for Modernization, LGDP2, but these things found that people they gave them the money, but they don't use it for the purpose. Right now we have PDM. PDM is also good, but it is to individuals. How do you bring these individuals together to produce volumes that can be used in order to process and meet the demands of the market?
We need to pay much attention to some key elements within the field of trade. And all what we do centers around quality. It's from quality that you can access the market.
The Uganda Free Zones and Export Promotions Authority is seeking compliant exporters reliant on Entebbe International Airport to lease space within its airport free zone. These initiatives aim to expand export capacity, driving Uganda towards its $500 billion GDP target by 2040. Wadulo Arnold Mark for UBC.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Chini Kaji, and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential. With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids' water park and our kids' play area. You can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Le Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort, right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
And into the world of sport, Uganda has taken a significant step in advancing climate action and environmental conservation with the launch of the Commonwealth Forest Initiative in Mabira Forest, Buyikwe District.
The initiative, spearheaded by Little Hands Go Green in partnership with Commonwealth Sport, the Commonwealth Games Association of Uganda, the National Forestry Authority and the Ministry of Water and Environment, has officially been soft-launched in Mabira Forest, Mubango, Najembe village.
We believe that at Commonwealth Sport, it's not just about the on-field of play activities in terms of competition, but we want to green our sport, and we want to also, we are part of the climate action framework where we'd like to offset any of the carbon emissions that might arise out of our sporting activities.
As a symbolic start, 74 indigenous trees were planted to represent the 74 nations and territories of the Commonwealth. The trees will serve as a living symbol of unity, shared responsibility and collective action against climate change.
In the modern geopolitics should be climate change action. Therefore, I'm going to advocate for Ministry of Water and Environment. They should be given enough funds to come up and then do activities like this so that we can preserve and conserve our country, especially in terms of forest conservation.
The Commonwealth Forest Initiative aims to create a permanent Commonwealth forest in Mabira, where participating nations can plant commemorative trees in honor of their athletes and para-athletes, building an environmental legacy linked to future Commonwealth Games.
With our climate ambassadors from the schools, we have been able to start this initiative here, and we believe that this forest will grow and eventually contribute significantly to offsetting the carbon print that comes with the Commonwealth Games that we participate in.
Speaking at the launch, Little Hands Go Green founder Joseph Mary Masembe said the initiative demonstrates how sport can contribute beyond competition by promoting climate resilience, biodiversity conservation, and environmental sustainability.
So the trees we have planted here are indigenous trees. We have planted the mahoganies, we have planted even, interestingly, some extinct fruit trees that people are not beginning to see, like jambula, because communities do not deplete and degrade forests if they have something to benefit from the forest directly. The idea is, how can we maintain the indigenous nature of the forest?
The program aligns with Uganda's climate commitments and forest restoration goals, while positioning Mabira Forest as a center for international environmental cooperation.
We are running out of trees, and we are encouraging every Ugandan, at least every year on your birthday, if you can plant one tree. That means if we are 48 million Ugandans, that means we have planted 48 million trees.
The initiative also highlights 3 key pillars of plant, protect and inspire that reflect a shared commitment to restoring forest cover, safeguarding existing ecosystems, and empowering young people.
My message to the people here is to plant trees and to conserve the environment. I'm here to encourage all of us to grow trees. Trees don't just take in carbon dioxide. Tree roots also help to prevent landslides and mudslides.
Uganda is expected to send a 50-plus strong athletes delegation to the 2026 Commonwealth Games that start on 23rd of July in Glasgow, Scotland.
Still in sports, sports events continue to feel the impact of the Ebola outbreak. First, Uganda lost their hosting rights for the FIBA Under-18 Afrobasket Zone 4 qualifiers, with the tournament moved to Egypt over health concerns. Now, but it is not only sports that has been affected. Entertainment events and other public gatherings have also been halted.
The first casualty came in basketball. Uganda was due to host the FIBA Africa Under-18 Zone 5 qualifiers in the western city of Hoima later this month, but concerns over the Ebola outbreak prompted organizers to move the tournament to Egypt. The decision means Uganda misses an opportunity to showcase itself as a host of international sport, while hotels, transport and other local businesses lose out on the economic benefits that often come with such events.
Safety should always come first. Even if we feel gutted and disappointed and disrupted and anything, let's keep our players, our fans, our team coaches, our guests who are coming safe first. If we must push the tournament can always be pushed. Like now, if we decide to push our local league, we shall push it. Why? Because safety should always come first. And this is one thing we learned from COVID.
The relocation comes as Uganda steps up efforts to contain the outbreak. Authorities have suspended all public events considered high risk for disease transmission. Health officials insist the restrictions are temporary but necessary.
Concerts, promotional activities, or any other function that brings so many people that are not structured, they are coming from all over the place and they are moving and they are in this mode like what you saw recently. Those ones we are not going to allow.
The measures stop short of a complete ban on gatherings, with essential and organized activities still permitted under strict health guidelines. Despite this setback, sports officials say Uganda remains determined to position itself as a destination for major international competitions. The focus now shifts to future events and restoring confidence among teams and organizers. The restrictions extend beyond sport. Uganda's entertainment industry, which relies heavily on concerts and large public gatherings, is also feeling the effects. Event organizers say public health must take priority, but warn that suspension could affect thousands of people who depend on the sector for income, from performers and production crews to vendors and venue operators.
Entertainment industry and events business is going to take a big blow. But at the same time, we are very hopeful. It's not the first time that this is happening, and we have a lot of hope in our government. They've handled these situations before better and managed to contain the Ebola cases. So I don't think it will really escalate.
Uganda managed to contain several Ebola outbreaks in the past, and they are confident about doing so again. Health officials say the latest measures are designed to prevent wider transmission while allowing essential activities to continue safely. For now, however, some of the country's biggest stages and sporting arenas are being forced to fall silent as the fight against Ebola takes priority. Mike Obaleke, CGTN, Kampala, Uganda.
And that brings us to the end of our bulletin. Thank you once again for allowing us into your space. My name is Patricia Lukoma, Dorothy Namiomba on sign language there. Let's meet again at 10.